Welcome to Movies in the Making. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at the 1985 teen comedy film The Breakfast Club, originally released by Universal Pictures and directed by John Hughes. Here, we will dive deep into the story of the production of this film. With five teenagers and a harsh vice principal to focus on, there was a lot going on behind the scenes, despite the film relying on an abandoned school for a setting. To celebrate the 40th anniversary of a film that came out in 1985, we shall discuss what happens in the making when the camera was not rolling. So, sit back and enjoy the show. You are all in for a disciplinary ride. John Hughes came up with the idea for The Breakfast Club after initially titling the script Detention, inspired by his own experience with high school detention and the dynamics between different social groups. The concept was further shaped when he overheard a teenage son of a friend refer to his morning detention classes as the Breakfast Club, leading him to adopt the title. Originally, Hughes had planned to direct the film after completing the script for 16 Candles, 1984, but the production was delayed, and he worked on multiple other projects in the meantime. After the success of Mr. Mom, 20th Century Studios, 1983, a film Hughes wrote the script for, he was offered a 3-year, $30 million contract with Universal Pictures, with producer Ned Tannen agreeing to include The Breakfast Club in the deal, provided 16 Candles was released first. The Breakfast Club was also originally titled The Lunch Bunch, a name that was changed after Hughes learned about the breakfast clubs at New Trier High School in Illinois, where early detention sessions were held. Hughes, who attended school in Illinois, was inspired by this and adopted the new title for the film. New Trier also became a significant location for many of Hughes' other iconic 80s teen films, including 16 Candles, Weird Science, Universal Pictures, 1985, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Paramount Pictures, 1986. Incredibly, Hughes wrote the script for The Breakfast Club in just 2 days, an impressive feat given its original runtime of over 2.5 hours. While the script was written quickly, Hughes remained flexible, making numerous changes, including adding the character of Carl the janitor, pitching an NSFW scene, and rewriting sections that did not resonate with the cast and crew. Many scenes were also improvised, contributing to the film's organic feel. Paul Gleason, a talented actor known for playing the stern high school vice principal Richard Vernon in the film, was cast for the role due to his extensive experience playing authority figures on screen. Gleason, who had a background in baseball and honed his acting skills at the Actors Studio under Lee Strasberg, often portrayed characters in conflict with protagonists. His career spanned over 60 films throughout his career, including Die Hard, 20th Century Studios, 1988, and Johnny Be Good, Orion Pictures, also 1988. And his role as the tough vice principal became one of his most memorable performances. Emilio Estevez was initially cast in The Breakfast Club to play a football player, but due to his shorter height, director John Hughes altered the character to be a wrestler instead, allowing Estevez to portray Andrew Clark, the jock. This change led to the film's most significant character transformations, as Estevez's portrayal revealed Andrew to be a more tender-hearted individual rather than the stereotypical tough jock. Emilio Estevez and John Kapelos had a tense relationship on the set of the film, which began when Kapelos, who played Carl the janitor, took the role seriously while Estevez and Judd Nelson were goofing around trying to make him laugh. Kapelos, frustrated by their lack of professionalism, referenced the real-life heart attack of the actor Martin Sheen during the filming of Apocalypse Now, United Artists 1979, telling the pair that they would have fit right in during that time. Unbeknownst to Kapelos, Estevez was Sheen's son, which made the situation awkward for both of them during the rest of filming. While filming The Breakfast Club, the cast struggled with extreme heat exhaustion due to the intense lighting in the library set, where temperatures soared between 95 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit. This caused many of the actors to fall asleep during takes, leading to the hiring of 2 additional assistant directors to keep them awake and prevent snoring from ruining the sound recordings. Cinematographer Tom Del Roof, who was instrumental in capturing the film's iconic atmosphere, recalled the heat as a significant challenge but also an important element in the film's tense, suffocating atmosphere during key scenes where the characters share their detention stories. Anthony Michael Hall's casting in the film was part of his ongoing collaboration with director John Hughes, a key figure in shaping the Brat Pack's presence in 1980s teen cinema. Hall, who already worked before with Hughes on 16 Candles, admired Hughes' approach to directing, which fostered an inclusive and collaborative atmosphere. Hall recalled how Hughes was always accessible on set, often sitting next to the camera and engaging with actors throughout the day. Judd Nelson's audition for the film set the tone for his intense portrayal of John Bender. Fully immersed in the character, Nelson caused a scene in a waiting room, upsetting everyone around him. The secretary, taken aback, called security, but before he was removed, someone behind the office doors called his name, prompting Nelson to defiantly give the security guard the finger before walking in for his audition. His method acting brought similar challenges on set, creating friction, especially with his disruptive behavior. Despite nearly being fired for this, Hughes recognized Nelson's passion for the role and valued his openness to collaboration. However, Nelson's bullying behavior towards Molly Ringwald, both on and off camera, led Hughes to vow never to work with him again. Nelson's iconic fist pump at the end of the film was unscripted. In the memorable closing scene, as John Bender walks off into the sunset with Simple Minds' song "Don't You Forget About Me" playing, he pumps his fist in the air. Hughes, unsure of what Nelson should do in that final shot, left it open for improvisation. Nelson, alone in the scene, spontaneously threw his fist up as he walked away from the high school, creating one of the most memorable moments in 80s movie history. In the film, Bender is also asked to tell a joke while crawling through air ducts, and Nelson improvised an unusual setup about a naked blonde with a poodle and salami but never created a punchline. Despite the crew's attempts, they could not come up with one, and it ultimately was not needed, as Bender fell through the ceiling before delivering it. Molly Ringwald was initially considered for the role of Allison, the goth girl, but ultimately ended up playing Claire, the princess. Both she and Hughes agreed she was a better fit for the popular character obsessed with status. At just 16 years old, Ringwald brought an authentic teenage energy to the role of Claire, and a decision was made to cast her as the iconic princess of the group, with Allison then going to Ali Sheedy. Ali Sheedy's casting in the film was also partly due to an unusual circumstance. She showed up to the audition with 2 black eyes from an accident on another set. Hughes had originally planned for her to audition for the role of protagonist Samantha Baker in 16 Candles, but after seeing Sheedy's injury, he remembered her unique look when casting The Breakfast Club. Hughes thought Sheedy's gothic appearance and personality made her a perfect fit for the role of Allison, the mysterious and eccentric character, which she went on to play to perfection. Sheedy did not even have to work hard to get into the character for the film, as her portrayal of the gothic teen Allison was deeply rooted in her own high school experience. John Hughes' direction was key in making The Breakfast Club more than just a teen movie. He actively encouraged collaboration, making sure the actors felt like partners in the creative process. Unlike many directors who would dictate instructions, Hughes trusted his cast, allowing them to try new things and contribute to the performances. This sense of collaboration made the film feel authentic and emotionally resonant, addressing the struggles of adolescence in a way that stood out from other teen films, creating a lasting impact on the genre. To commemorate their time together, Hughes gifted each actor a piece of the library's banister as a keepsake, ensuring they had a physical reminder of the unforgettable experience. Maine North High School in Des Plaines, Illinois, USA, opened in November 1970 to accommodate a growing student population but struggled with lower than expected enrollment, peaking at just 1,800 students instead of the projected 3,500. After a decline in enrollment, the school was closed in 1981, and its campus became the setting for the Breakfast Club. At the time of its closure, Maine North had about 3,200 graduates and was known for its black, gold, and white colors, as well as its Norseman teams. The school's gymnasium was transformed into a soundstage for the film, which utilized the location to represent the fictional setting of the film. Tom Del Ruth became the cinematographer for the film after a long career in the film industry, influenced by his background growing up with parents in the business. His father, Roy Del Roof, was a film director, and his mother, Winnie Leitner, was an actress. Though Tom attended the University of Southern California's film school, he left before graduating to pursue a career in filmmaking. He initially started in still photography, discovering a passion for it. In 1984, Del Roof worked as a cinematographer for The Breakfast Club, where he focused on capturing the theme of teenage stereotypes that evolve throughout the film. He aimed to create a sense of suffocation to make the audience feel the confinement of detention. Del Roof's favorite scene, which remains pivotal, shows the 5 students during a moment of vulnerability where each character shares their personal struggles, and he carefully framed this moment to visually tell their stories. Z.Z. Allen became the editor for the film after being a major influence on director Hughes. Hughes credited her with teaching him the art of editing, describing her as a mentor who shaped his approach to filmmaking. He noted that before working with Allen, he had little knowledge of editing, and her guidance during dailies was like a crash course in film school. Hughes acknowledged her as one of the greatest editors of the modern era, emphasizing that the editing room is where movies are truly made. During production, when Molly Ringwald's character changed her hairstyle, Hughes was concerned about the continuity, but Allen reassured him, saying that if the audience focused on such details, the story was not compelling enough. Allen's approach was always focused on storytelling, asking not where to cut, but what to do with the characters to make their journey resonate. In 1984, Simple Minds initially turned down the opportunity to record Don't You Forget About Me for The Breakfast Club, as they were reluctant to record a song they had not written themselves. However, after their manager saw potential in the song as a way to break into the American market, he arranged a private screening of the film to persuade them. Despite this, the band still refused. The song had been co-written by Steve Schiff and the film's composer Keith Forsey, and after a series of rejections from other artists like Billy Idol, Brian Ferry, and Chrissie Hynde, Forsey convinced Simple Minds' lead singer, Jim Kerr, to reconsider. Bands recorded the track in a single afternoon, with Kerr suggesting the iconic "Hey, hey, hey, hey" at the beginning, and guitarist Charlie Burchill adding powerful chords to transform it into a stadium anthem. Despite some initial reluctance, Simple Minds later acknowledged its importance, even as Kerr admitted his mixed feelings about it overshadowing their other work. Over the years, the song has been covered by various artists and featured in several films and TV shows, solidifying its place in pop culture. As of 14th February 2025, The Breakfast Club has an 89% critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes, a 66 out of 100 critics rating on Metacritic, a 7.8 rating on IMDb, and a 3.8 rating on Letterboxd. The film's budget was about $1 million and it grossed about $51 million following its initial release date at the 15th of February 1985. In 2016, the film was chosen by the American Library Congress to be preserved for the National Film Registry as culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. The term Brat Pack was coined by writer David Blum in a 1985 New York Magazine article that initially aimed to profile Estevez, but ultimately spotlighted a group of young actors, including Estevez, Rob Lowe, and Judd Nelson, who were rising to fame during the 80s. This article, which was published shortly after The Breakfast Club, a film that would become iconic within the Brat Pack genre, painted the group in a less than flattering light, depicting them as privileged stars living a life of fame and excess. Though the piece originally focused on Estevez, it included references to other notable actors like Molly Ringwald and Ali Sheedy, all of whom were associated with the group, even though they were not interviewed for the article. The portrayal of these actors as a Hollywood brat pack, a term compared to the Rat Pack of the 1960s, set the stage for the lasting cultural phenomenon. While the group felt hurt by this depiction, including Estevez, who felt derailed by the article, the term stuck, and the legacy of the Brat Pack became inextricably linked to films like The Breakfast Club. Despite mixed reactions from those involved, Blum stood by his creation, acknowledging that the name had a significant and enduring impact on the public image of these young actors, forever connecting them to the label of the Brat Pack. And that wraps up our deep dive into the making of The Breakfast Club. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay updated on all things movies in the making. Let us know in the comments what you think of The Breakfast Club, or if you have any favorite moments from that film we did not touch upon, or what films you would like to hear covered by this channel. Also be sure to check out our community page where we announce what films will be talked about by this channel each week. New posts arrive every Friday. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time on Movies in the Making, where we'll be talking about Forrest Gump, Paramount Pictures' 1994, and more films to follow along the way. Tune in for more Movies in the Making as we uncover the stories behind cinema's most unforgettable films. This has been Jason Scotchmer, film enthusiast and passionate about the arts.